Hi guys, Will Vincent back with another of our 2013 Pro Series interviews. This time talking to a couple of guys from High Performance Motorsports. We've got Kevin Burris and Mitchell Hunt here. Hi guys, sorry for keeping you waiting for so long.
All good, bud.
So we'll go straight to the point. You were telling me before we went on air, this is kind of a bit of a new program that you guys have got with High Performance Motorsports. Really came together for the 2013 Pro Series.
Yeah, that's correct.
Are we gonna get anything? Nope. Okay. Go on, come on, talk to me.
No, okay. Yeah, I think we've pretty much just kind of came together like a week or two before Pro. I don't think we did too much together or anything really during the A series, but uh, the first week or two before Pro actually started, we all kind of came together. I think most of us have worked together one way or another previous years or seasons, so it's been kind of good so far.
And you kind of had to have a different mindset between the A Series and the Pro Series. Of course, as far as the A Series go, you've got a lot of people from many different teams all trying to compete to get themselves into that top 10 in season 1, 2, and 3 to get themselves that black stripe, that pro license for the season 4. But once you're kind of in there, then you almost, have to rekindle friendships almost, which I'm guessing is the way it comes down to you guys. So, as far as the Pro Series goes, I mean, how is it to be able to, bring forward that High Performance Motorsports banner into the Pro Series?
Well, with the crew that we've got, it's everybody knows Brody. Everybody should know Mitchell. If not, they found out about him Tuesday. But everybody already knows about us. I'm pretty much the back marker of the team, so I'll let Mitchell continue on from his perspective.
I think we all got our speed somewhere. I think Kevin is more than able to run the top 15 for sure. I know Texas. I think we kind of missed it just a little bit in traffic. I don't know if he was tired, and I know I was, so it really kind of hurt us a little bit. But I think kind of later in the season, I think start running a lot better towards the end of the season. We'll really get up there, and I think we can kind of carry everybody a little bit in some way.
Well, you talk about that. I mean, Mitchell, you're sat 4th in points right now. And Kevin, you're sat currently 18th in points. So both of you in that top 25, which of course is objective 1. Get yourself into the top 25, get yourself that WCS license for 2014. I'm guessing that in some ways you might have different mindsets as we come to that second half of the season, though. Mitchell, I mean, you're only 7 points behind, Josh Berry, who's leading the championship right now. So I'm guessing that your objective is going to be to get yourself into the top 5, perhaps challenge for that championship.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely if I'm there. Right now it's pretty much just points every week. So if I get the most points as I can each week, I think will be good. I'm just set on, I think it's top 20 that make it. So as long as you're in top 20, it's fine. Wherever I finish, don't matter.
And Kevin, you two, are currently in for 2014 if the season was to end now. But I mean, as far as you go, what is your primary objective? Just to make the field, or as the season progresses, are you looking to try and get yourself into the top 10, top 5 as well?
My main goals from the get-go is to get top 20s, top 15s, top 10s without forcing the issue or gaining incidents or anything like that. I'm just trying to survive for the first part of the season, and then maybe down the road try to pick up the performance and maybe battle for the top 5 or so.
And it's kind of interesting in the fact that with the NASCAR Pro Series, of course, the way the point structure works is that you have to have those consistent finishes. Get yourself, outside the top 20, get yourself a retirement in the race, and pretty much you can drop down 10 positions in the standings. Compare that to the Road Series, where the point spread's a lot different. So, wins are more important there. Consistency is more important in the NASCAR Pro Series. Does that kind of bear in your mind when you're racing in these races in the Pro Series?
Oh yes, it's always in the back of your mind, and it always affects what you do out there. Um, like you said, it's consistent finishes that pay off. If you go up there and try to win the race and get wrecked, you're probably going to wind up outside the top 20 for that particular race.
And out of the guys that you've seen so far, I mean, who do you guys think is going to be your biggest competition? A, for the championship, and B, the competition, kind of in that field to make the top 20 so far?
I would probably have to. I don't know. I don't honestly know what team everybody's on or who's working with what or whatever. I just know individuals for the most part, but I don't know how Texas kind of shaped. I don't really know everyone's speed as to much. Obviously Bear was getting a win. I'm sure he'll be quick each week. I mean, I raced with him Pro Series however many years ago or whatever it was. I mean, he's always been quick. Humpy was quick too at Texas. I mean, the whole guys, I think Crawford, Duvall, and someone else that they work with, whoever, they were up there all front for like pretty much 3/4 of the race. So I think you'll probably have to look out for about 6 or 7 guys to really contend.
And as far as the season goes as well, you have got yourselves a pretty varied schedule to deal with. Are there any particular tracks that you're A, looking forward to, and B, kind of, not looking forward to? Remembering, of course, the fact that you have got a couple of drop weeks to take into play as well in the 10 weeks season.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a 1.5 mile guy, so definitely looking forward to Charlotte, which is the last race of the season. There in Michigan, those are probably 2 of the tracks that I really like racing.
Kevin?
I am not looking forward to Watkins Glen. Before we went on air, he was picking at our road stats, and as you can tell, I'm not too much of a road guy. Tracks I'm looking forward to, well, considering the car we had for Texas, I can't wait to get to the next track. Phoenix is looking good. Can't wait to get there Tuesday, and then Homestead after that. I mean, with the crew we got, we really work hard at our setups, and the cars are a pleasure to drive. So just looking forward to the next track.
You make an interesting point there about Watkins Glen, because of course normally you'd pick Daytona as that wildcard race, but you've also got Watkins as a kind of almost second wildcard race because of the fact it is a road course in the Pro Series. So is Watkins a race of survival, do you think? And I mean, in theory, you can gain quite a lot of points there if you get a good finish and you just keep your car on the racetrack. Then surely you've got a good chance of making up some points where you might have lost early in the season. But on the flip side of that, if you've already had 2 bad races up to Watkins Glen, then you've got to push to get those points.
Yeah. Hopefully we're not in the position of that. Hopefully we can afford to just ride and let things kind of spread out. I don't know quite about the caution deal. I don't think we're going to get cautions. But I just hope that we can kind of afford to ride that week and just bring home a safe, clean car.
And as far as looking forward goes, to potentially 2014 WCS. I mean, first of all, I mean, I know both you guys are, the entire reason that you're in pro is to get yourself into the WCS for 2014. What would your expectations be should you be able to get yourself into that position for next year?
I think if I'm running, I'm definitely looking for top 20s. Hopefully much better than that. I'm just kind of, I haven't, even though I've been pro for like 3 or 4 times, something like that, I've yet to make a DWC start. So I'm sure it's a lot. I know it's a kind of a lot different beast to do. Hopefully top 15s, top 20s is kind of just what I'm shooting at. So nothing to make my head go big.
You make an interesting point there. I mean, the fact that you've raced in Pro Series before, I mean, how does this year's Pro Series compare to the Pro Series that you've taken part in previously? Of course, you only have one race so far to really base that upon. But on the drivers and the tracks that we have, how do you compare these series overall to what we've had in 2012, 2011, etc.?
I think, well, the biggest thing is the way the cars drive. They're definitely, I think, a little bit more friendlier to drive. Everyone's a lot closer on times. I think you're looking, well, when fall off happens, that's when you really see kind of who's who, who has speed and whatnot. I think most of these guys I've raced around them before in previous pro, so you're familiar with who's who. I don't think, I think just because of how close everyone is on times, kind of the talent pool there, it seems a lot higher, but I definitely think I'm still a little bit, I don't know, I'm probably getting cocky with it, but I still think I could probably run up top 10 each week at least. Top 15 would be all right though.
And you've kind of had to go from the Gen 5 car on the OTM to the Gen 5 car on the NTM to the Gen 6 car. So, I mean, is that an advantage, being able to understand overall how the cars behave themselves over the course of a run, or is it just a case of, okay, it's a new car, let's forget everything we've learned and start again?
Yeah, basically once they come out with a new car, you're just relearning everything. The way it first was, you were in the old Nationwide car, and I mean it was just a completely different driving compared to how we drive now. Um, Now we just you're just really looking to save the tires, I think, and not kind of abuse them as much as you used to get away with at least. So I think setups are really you really got to look in your setup to try and dial it in, because I mean you can go from a tenth off to just a tenth quicker to everybody with like just 1 or 2 changes, and it's a world of difference how these things drive.
Does that annoy you, though, that you've got to, when you're on the racetrack, this is both of you, actually have to really mentally think about how hard you're pushing? For example, you got a guy you're closing up on, and you want to make that pass on them, but to do so, you're going to have to push harder. If you push harder, you're going to wear that right front out even more, and then potentially be in a worse situation later on in the run.
Yeah, definitely. You're behind a guy and you're a little bit quicker, but you can't quite get there. I mean, it's frustrating because you know once you get by him, you're just gonna take off and pretty much pull away from him, and then you're gonna have to catch the next guy and probably do it all over again. So I think trying to save is definitely helps. It definitely helps in the long run. You'll notice it. The first 10, 15 laps, pretty much of most tracks, you really won't see anything. Everyone's just right on top of each other for times. The longer runs definitely, which I like to do. I think Texas, you saw it a lot. Well, the first 2 runs you saw long reflag runs, and those were a lot. I think it definitely kind of straightens out the field to see kind of, I guess, who's better and who's not, I guess, for the setup wise, and who's good on the long runs. So definitely long runs help a lot if you work at it.
And final question, final point. Of course, you guys got yourselves quite a number of sponsors. and a number of friends in the iRacing community. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to at all?
I'll let Kevin go first on this one.
Yeah, I want to thank Brennan Mercer for coming on board, Gene Mercer Trucking, Brian Emmerman, Brisher Group. They are the makers of Moisturizer Mate. For some of the people that don't know what Moisturizer Mate is, applicator to reach the hard to reach spots, and it contains lotion. You can pick them up at Bed Bath & Beyond, Amazon, or you can go to moisturizingmate.com and buy from there.
Mitchell?
I'd give a shout out to Stacy Adams, Kevin Burris. Kevin hooked me up with Stacy about 2 or 3 days before the Texas race, and got me with reallucky.com, which is a offshore and inland deep sea fishing tour, and basically go out there half the day, full day for fishing trips, and it's down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I mean, it's been pretty cool having the paint scheme and run. I mean, I think the paint scheme looks sick. JD painted that like literally the night before the Texas race as well. Chad Coleman as well. He spotted me for Texas, and he kind of got an earful at times, but he was putting up with some of the crap, and it's been pretty good so far. Kevin, Brody, Hawk, we've all kind of been putting in time with setups and running laps. It's been pretty well.
Well, guys, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. That is Mitchell Hunt and Kevin Burris from High Performance Motorsports, one of Glacier TV's interviews for the 2013 Pro Series drivers. For the NASCAR side, these guys next Tuesday will be racing at Phoenix International Raceway. They've got Homestead, Daytona, Pocono, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, New Hampshire, and Charlotte to contend with over the course of this season. We'll have more of these interviews coming your way over the course of the next couple of days and weeks, so keep your eye out on our YouTube page, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Thanks for listening. Bye.